ton of cucumbers that have come into my garden, so I'm gonna try my hand at making some bread and butter pickles. Let's go. I just hope these turned out because I had never made pickles before. Got 10 pounds of cucumbers cut up. I did do round cucumbers as well as some spears. I'm gonna do a half a cup of salt all over these pickles, just right on top. I am using Himalayan salt. Then we're gonna use 3 tablespoons of garlic salt. 2, 3. The reason I have mine sitting on my sink is because she said that we're gonna ice these pickles down, and I don't know if my tray is big enough to hold all of this. So I just got it sitting here hoping that if it does have a lot of water, it's gonna run off in the sink. All right, they're iced down. We're gonna let these set for 3 hours. While they're setting, I'm gonna go ahead and boil my jars so they will be ready. I found the biggest pot that I have at my house. I'm hoping everything is gonna fit inside of here. Now we're gonna start our brine so we can put our pickles into it. We're gonna use 5 cups of vinegar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're gonna put in 5 cups of sugar. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of mustard seed. 1, 2. 1 teaspoon of turmeric. I had whole cloves here at home, so that's what I'm gonna do for my half a teaspoon of cloves. I do have this on high heat, and we're gonna cook it until there's no sugar left, and then we'll add in our pickles. I don't see any sugar left in the bottom of this pot, so now I'm gonna start adding in the cucumbers. I did drain the water off of these, so they're ready to go in. Now this is a lot of pickles for not a lot of brine, but they are going to kind of boil down, and then once they get softer, they'll take up less space in the pot. This recipe book, I have no idea how old it is. I found it in all of my grandma's recipe stuff. I can't find a date on this, so this is an absolute treasure for me. Here's what it looks like after 15 minutes of cooking. I sterilized my jars, so now I'm gonna start filling them up with pickles. I even have one of these things right here, so it's gonna be a lot easier to slide them down in the jar. I'm just tapping it down to make sure that I get all the space filled up with pickles. I don't want a bunch of like air holes. I want to fill these up as best as I can. Now I'm going to take the brine, and I'm just going to fill each jar up with brine all the way to the top. I'm going to leave about a 1/2 inch headspace. You want most of, if not all of, your pickles completely covered in the brine. The more pickles means less brine that you have to put inside your jar. Now I'm just gonna clean up all the edges of these jars to make sure they don't have any pickle juice on top of them, so when we seal these up, they will seal nice and tight with no issues. I'm just gonna put these rings on here fingertip tight, and as these cool off, the seal right here in the middle will pull down, and it'll make a ding sound whenever it's ready to be stored on the shelf. Okay, we're just gonna let these sit overnight, and they should all be ready to put on the shelf by in the morning.